Over 50? Why do Japanese elders rarely need walkers, canes, or mobility aids, while in many other countries people begin struggling to walk comfortably in their 50s or 60s? This question surprises doctors, researchers, and physical therapists all over the world. Japan has one of the oldest populations on Earth, yet its elderly citizens remain remarkably mobile, balanced, and independent far longer than expected. You'll see men in their 70s cycling to the market, women in their 80s walking up hill streets without assistance, and grandparents in their 90s squatting comfortably to tend small gardens. This is not luck, and it's not genetics alone. It's lifestyle, daily habits, and cultural movement patterns that quietly protect the body year after year. In many countries, aging is associated with decline. Knees weaken, hips stiffen, balance fades, and walking becomes something people fear rather than enjoy. But in Japan, movement is woven into everyday life so deeply that elders don't think of it as exercise. They simply live in a way that keeps their bodies strong. And the most important part is this: you do not need to be Japanese to copy these habits. You don't need expensive equipment, gym memberships, or intense workouts. What matters is consistency, posture, and how you move during ordinary moments of your day. One of the biggest reasons Japanese elders remain mobile is that walking is not their only form of movement. In many Western countries, walking is promoted as the ultimate exercise for seniors. While walking is beneficial, relying on it alone can be limiting. Walking mostly moves the body forward in one plane. It does not challenge balance deeply, it does not fully strengthen the hips, and it does not preserve the ability to move down to the floor and back up again. In Japan, elders naturally perform a wider range of movements throughout the day. Consider something as simple as sitting. In many cultures, people sit almost exclusively in chairs. Over decades, this weakens the hips, glutes, ankles, and core. In Japan, traditional sitting styles such as Caesar or floor sitting are still common, even if adapted with cushions or low seating. This regular up and down motion keeps joints mobile and muscles engaged. The body never forgets how to lower itself or rise again. This single habit alone dramatically reduces the risk of needing a walker later in life. Balance is another key factor. Japanese elders unconsciously train balance every day. They walk on uneven sidewalks, step over curbs, navigate narrow streets, and stand on public transportation without leaning heavily on supports. This constant microchallenge trains the nervous system. Balance is not just muscle strength, it is communication between the brain and body. When balance is trained daily, the fear of falling decreases and confidence grows. In contrast, many older adults elsewhere avoid balance challenges, which ironically increases fall risk over time. Foot health also plays a massive role. In Japan, shoes are removed indoors. This allows feet to move freely, spread naturally, and maintain strength. Thick cushioned shoes worn all day can weaken foot muscles and reduce sensory feedback from the ground. Barefoot or socked movement indoors keeps the feet responsive. Strong feet lead to better balance, better posture, and more confident walking. This alone can delay or eliminate the need for walkers. Posture is another silent habit that changes everything. Japanese culture emphasizes upright posture from childhood. Elders who stand tall, keep their head aligned over their spine, and engage their core place less strain on joints. Poor posture shifts weight incorrectly, making walking more exhausting and painful. When posture collapses, people lean forward, shorten their stride, and eventually rely on supports. Correct posture conserves energy and keeps walking smooth and natural. Another overlooked habit is how Japanese elders use their hips. The hips are the engine of walking. When hip strength fades, the knees and lower back suffer. Many Japanese daily activities involve hip hinging, squatting, and rotational movement. Gardening, cleaning, cooking at lower surfaces, and even traditional bathing routines require controlled hip motion. These movements maintain strength without formal workouts. Social structure also plays a powerful role. Japanese elders remain socially engaged and purposeful. They walk to shops, visit neighbors, care for grandchildren, and participate in community activities. Movement is attached to meaning. When movement has purpose, people do it more naturally and consistently. This prevents the sedentary spiral that leads to muscle loss and dependency. Diet supports movement too. Japanese meals are typically lighter, balanced, and anti-inflammatory. Less body weight means less stress on joints. Smaller portions eaten mindfully reduce metabolic strain. Healthy joints make walking easier, which in turn encourages more movement. Another critical habit is getting up from the floor. Many Japanese elders practice this ability unconsciously. Getting up from the floor requires leg strength, balance, coordination, and confidence. Studies show that people who can rise from the floor without assistance live longer and remain independent longer. In societies where people rarely sit on the floor, this skill disappears early, increasing reliance on chairs, then walkers, then assistants. Japanese elders also rest differently. They sit on the floor, kneel, or change positions frequently. This avoids stiffness and keeps circulation flowing. Remaining in one chair for hours causes muscles to shorten and joints to lock. Frequent position changes are subtle mobility exercises hidden in daily life. Even walking style differs. Japanese elders tend to take shorter, quicker steps with upright posture. This reduces joint impact and improves stability. Long, heavy strides can stress knees and hips, especially on hard surfaces. Efficient walking conserves energy and reduces pain. The most important lesson here is that Japanese elders don't train for old age. They live in a way that prepares them for it naturally. Every day includes small doses of strength, balance, flexibility, and coordination. Over decades, these small habits compound into powerful protection against mobility loss. And here's the encouraging part. You can start copying these habits today, even if you're already over 50. You can practice standing up from lower surfaces. You can improve posture. You can train balance safely at home. You can strengthen your hips without heavy exercise. You can walk with more awareness. None of this requires extreme effort, but it does require consistency. One of the most misunderstood ideas about aging is that weakness appears suddenly. In reality, loss of mobility creeps in slowly, often starting decades before a person ever considers using a walker. Japanese elders avoid this decline because they never stop using their bodies fully. They do not outsource movement to machines, furniture, or convenience. Every small action remains an opportunity to maintain strength. Take stairs, for example. In many countries, people begin avoiding stairs as early as their 40s. Elevators, escalators, and ramps replace them whenever possible. In Japan, stairs remain part of daily life. Train stations, apartment buildings, shrines, and neighborhoods often require climbing steps. Elders take them at their own pace, but they take them. Stair climbing strengthens the thighs, hips, and glutes, the very muscles that keep people walking. Independently. When these muscles weaken, walkers become necessary. Another quiet habit is how Japanese elders carry things. Groceries are often carried by hand, sometimes balanced evenly on both sides. This light resistance training keeps arms, shoulders, and core engaged. It also trains posture and balance. In contrast, pushing carts or relying on cars for short distances reduces these opportunities. Strength is not built in gyms alone, it is built by using the body as intended. The Japanese approach to balance deserves special attention. Balance is not treated as something fragile or dangerous. It is respected and practiced. Elders regularly stand on one foot briefly while putting on shoes, reaching for items, or changing direction. These tiny moments challenge stabilizing muscles and the inner ear. Over time, this preserves balance reflexes that prevent falls. Avoiding balance challenges actually weakens balance faster. Another critical factor is flexibility. Japanese elders stretch without calling it stretching. They reach, twist, squat, kneel, and rotate naturally throughout the day. Their joints move through full ranges of motion regularly. When joints stop moving fully, stiffness increases, pain follows, and movement becomes fearful. Fear leads to avoidance, and avoidance leads to dependency. Japanese elders break this cycle by keeping joints alive through daily motion. Hip mobility plays a massive role here. The hips control stride length, stability, and posture. When hips stiffen, people shuffle. Shuffling increases fall risk and energy cost. Many Japanese daily movements, sitting low, bathing, cleaning floors, gardening, require hip flexion and extension. These movements maintain hip health far better than walking alone ever could. Another overlooked habit is how Japanese elders rise from bed or the floor. They do not yank themselves up with momentum. They move deliberately, using legs, core, and balance together. This reinforces coordination. Coordination loss is a major reason walkers are prescribed. When movements become disconnected, supports are added. Coordinated movement delays this need. Let's talk about walking itself. Japanese elders walk differently. Their arms swing naturally. Their heads stay upright. Their eyes look forward, not down. This keeps the spine aligned and balance-centered. Many people over 50 develop a forward head posture from screens and chairs. This shifts the center of gravity forward, making walking unstable and tiring. Japanese posture habits counteract this naturally. Foot placement also matters. Japanese elders tend to land midfoot rather than heavy heel strikes. This softens impact and improves stability. Heavy heel striking sends shock through the knees and hips. Over time, joint pain discourages walking. Gentle, controlled steps preserve joints and confidence. Another powerful habit is daily routine consistency. Japanese elders tend to wake, eat, move, and rest on regular schedules. The nervous system thrives on rhythm. Predictable movement patterns improve coordination and reduce stiffness. Erratic schedules often lead to long periods of inactivity, followed by sudden effort, which increases injury risk. Community design supports this lifestyle. Neighborhoods are walkable, with destinations close by. Elders have reasons to move. Purposeful movement feels easier than forced exercise. When movement is meaningful, people stick with it for life. But perhaps the most important habit is mindset. Japanese elders expect to remain mobile. They do not see aging as a sentence to weakness. This belief shapes behavior. When people believe decline is inevitable, they move less. When they believe movement preserves life, they move more. This mental framing influences physical reality more than most realize. Pain is handled differently too. Japanese elders do not immediately stop moving at the first sign of discomfort. They adjust, slow down, or change how they move, but they keep moving. Gentle movement improves circulation and healing. Total rest often worsens stiffness and weakness. This balanced approach prevents minor issues from becoming disabling problems. Another reason walkers are rare is that Japanese elders train transitions constantly. Sitting to standing. Standing to walking. Walking to stopping. These transitions are where falls happen. Practicing them daily keeps them smooth and safe. Chairs that are too high or too soft remove this training. Low, firm seating keeps legs strong. Let's address walking alone again. Walking is excellent for cardiovascular health, but it does not fully protect against mobility loss. Walking does not strengthen the ability to squat, balance on one leg, rotate the spine, or rise from the floor. Japanese elders unknowingly supplement walking with these movements daily. That is why walking works for them, because it is not the only thing they do. Another habit is how they rest their hands and arms. Using hands to push up from the floor or stabilize during movement strengthens the upper body. Weak arms contribute to walker dependence because people lack confidence catching themselves or supporting their weight briefly. Upper body strength equals safety. Even breathing patterns matter. Japanese elders tend to breathe deeply into the belly rather than shallow chest breathing. Deep breathing supports posture, core strength, and calm movement. Anxiety stiffens muscles and worsens balance. Calm breathing improves control. All of these habits may sound small, but they accumulate over decades. Mobility is not lost overnight, and it is not preserved by one exercise. It is preserved by thousands of tiny movements repeated daily. The good news is that these habits can be reintroduced at any age. Even if you are over 50, 60, or 70, your body can relearn balance, strength, and coordination. The key is starting gently and being consistent. Now let's talk about what you can actually copy from Japanese elders, starting today, without changing your entire life or culture. The goal is not to live like a monk or move to Japan. The goal is to quietly rebuild the abilities that keep people independent: balance, leg strength, hip mobility, posture, and confidence. One of the simplest habits is lowering the height of daily life. Japanese elders rarely live surrounded by high, soft furniture. When everything is high and cushioned, the body stops working. Muscles become lazy. Joints lose range. To reverse this, begin by slightly lowering where you sit. Choose a firmer chair. Add a cushion to the floor and sit there for short periods. This alone retrains hips, knees, and ankles. The first few weeks may feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is not danger. It is the body remembering how to move. Another powerful habit is practicing controlled standing. Many people stand up quickly, using momentum and their back. Japanese elders stand deliberately, using their legs. This strengthens thighs and glutes, which are essential for walking without assistance. Each time you stand up, slow it down slightly. Feel your feet press into the ground. Keep your chest upright. This turns a normal movement into strength training. Balance can be retrained safely at home. Japanese elders do not ignore balance, and they do not fear it. They challenge it gently. You can stand near a wall or counter and lift one foot slightly off the ground for a few seconds. This wakes up stabilizing muscles that walkers replace. Balance improves when practiced regularly, even in small doses. Another habit is learning to shift weight smoothly. Walkers are often prescribed because people feel unstable when transferring weight from one foot to the other. Japanese elders constantly shift weight when standing, walking, or turning. You can practice this by gently rocking weight from one foot to the other while standing. This improves confidence and reduces fear. Floor mobility is one of the strongest predictors of independence. Japanese elders maintain the ability to get down and back up. If this feels intimidating, start small. Sit on a low stool. Then try a cushion on the floor. Use hands if needed. There is no shame in using support. The goal is to keep the skill alive, not to be perfect. Over time, strength and confidence increase. Another habit is how Japanese elders use their hands. Hands are used for balance, pushing, stabilizing, and rising. This keeps arms strong. Weak arms contribute to walker dependence because people lack the ability to steady themselves. Simple habits like pushing up from chairs with control strengthen the upper body naturally. Posture correction is essential. Japanese elders rarely slump deeply. Their posture is not rigid, but upright. You can practice aligning your head over your shoulders and shoulders over hips. Good posture reduces joint strain and improves breathing. Breathing deeply supports core muscles that stabilize walking. Speaking of breathing, slow breathing is a hidden secret. Anxiety tightens muscles and worsens balance. Japanese elders move calmly. You can practice breathing slowly through the nose while standing or walking. Calm movement is stable movement. Another habit is walking with intention. Japanese elders walk to destinations, not just for exercise. Purposeful walking feels easier and more enjoyable. Instead of counting steps, walk to accomplish something. This mindset improves consistency. But remember, walking alone is not enough. You must supplement walking with movements that challenge strength and balance. Japanese elders do this without thinking. You must do it intentionally at first. Another key habit is squatting, even shallow squatting. Full deep squats are not required. Partial squats keep hips and knees strong. You can practice bending slightly to pick things up instead of hinging only at the back. This preserves leg strength. Turning is another overlooked skill. Many falls happen during turns. Japanese elders turn smoothly, using their whole body. Practice turning slowly instead of pivoting sharply. This improves coordination. Another habit is barefoot time indoors. Removing shoes strengthens feet. Strong feet improve balance. If barefoot is uncomfortable, wear thin socks. Avoid thick, cushioned footwear all day. Daily chores are treated as movement opportunities. Cleaning, cooking, and organizing involve bending, reaching, and lifting. Japanese elders do not rush through these tasks. They move deliberately. Slowing down increases control and strength. Resting positions matter too. Japanese elders change positions often. They do not sit frozen in one posture for hours. Try standing up every 30 to 60 minutes. Change positions. This prevents stiffness. Another habit is respecting pain without surrendering to it. Japanese elders distinguish between discomfort and injury. Gentle movement is continued even when joints feel stiff. This prevents decline. Complete inactivity accelerates weakness. Nutrition supports movement. Lighter meals reduce joint load. Hydration keeps joints lubricated. You do not need a Japanese diet, but mindful eating helps mobility. Sleep also matters. Consistent sleep improves coordination and balance. Fatigue increases fall risk. Japanese elders prioritize routine. Perhaps the most important habit is confidence. Japanese elders trust their bodies. This confidence comes from daily movement. Fear leads to stiffness. Stiffness leads to instability. Stability leads to independence. Walkers are helpful tools, but they often replace movement rather than restore it. Japanese elders delay this replacement by keeping movement alive. This does not mean ignoring safety. It means training ability so assistance is not immediately required. You can start rebuilding these abilities gradually. Choose one habit at a time. Lower your sitting height. Practice standing slowly. Train balance near support. Add floor sitting. Improve posture. Walk with intention. Over months, these habits compound. Mobility is not about youth. It is about use. Japanese elders use their bodies fully every day. That is why they rarely need walkers. Aging does not require surrender. Decline is not inevitable. The body responds to how it is treated. If you move like someone who expects independence, your body adapts accordingly. This is not about pushing harder. It is about moving smarter. Gentle, consistent movement beats intense effort followed by long rest. Japanese elders understand this intuitively. If you take one lesson from this, let it be this: stop outsourcing movement. Do not let chairs, cars, elevators, and fear steal your strength. Reclaim movement gradually, safely, and daily. Independence is built one movement at a time.